Let's go to war. No, hey everyone. Welcome back to my
Bombs
show.
away!
I'm here with the best people on earth. I'm here with not only my internet brother Sean, but it's my internet wife, which he hates me saying, Gina, and
wait a minute. Wait. She can't be your internet wife. That's polygamy. And well, wait a minute. Is polygamy legal in Australia?
we don't mention it, and it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, then, all right. You're his internet wife now. Congratulations.
We just whatever goes, you know.
All right.
And last but not least, I have the one and only FrontPorchConservative, Mr. Brian Trippett. How the fucking hell are you, sir?
I am fantastic, especially since I found out that coming on this live stream, gets me an internet side piece. I mean, and by the way, I like the fact how you work this out because Sean's the internet husband to Gina, and there was a dispute about whose side piece she was going to be. But since you guys don't talk about polygamy down under, and she is now your internet wife as well, that means I get exclusivity on having her as the internet side piece.
We have days of the week, okay? We can work out a roster after the show.
This is just now this is out of pocket.
It totally is out of pocket. But poor Gina. How do you feel about this roster situation, Gina?
Just tell me.
How's your actual husband feel about it? We can't forget there is a real husband.
There's an actual husband, yes.
There is an actual.
He works nights. It's fine.
He doesn't mind.
Screw it. Screw it. Wait. Hold on now. More importantly, we need to be talking to Sean here because he's married to a redhead. This could get. We got potential for things getting thrown around the kitchen, pots flying around, bowling pins going over people's heads.
No. We have video proof that she said it was fine.
Oh.
I think she's fine with it.
Oh, well, then okay.
Although, due to the unique nature of redheadedness, that can probably fluctuate in
a nanosecond. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's a day of the week thing too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Day of the week. Hell, that could be a 15 minutes.
Like Nova Scotia weather.
Oh, this is going to be a fun night. I can tell already.
Brian, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Have you been designated? Do you yet know which faction you're in of the MAGA camp? Are you a Panican or are you a truster? Or are you think that's a fucking gay thing to say?
Well, I'm not going to lie. When before we launched the bombers and Trump was making all that noise, I did go slightly Panican. I am not going to lie about that. And then when he actually launched the bombs, I'm like, jeez. So I went to the disgusted side of MAGA, whatever that is, and I'm still not happy in certain aspects, which we'll get into it.
We would be Panicans. We're Panicans. It sounds like you're resisting this, Brian, but we're Panicans. According to now,
Pangolin.
Hey,
is that a Pangolin?
No, so like there's these factions have emerged on Twitter. It's a Twitter thing. I don't think it exists anywhere else. But there's like, you know how the term woke right has been going around recently?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this nebulous term. No one really knows how to define it because it's called like some people have been using it to. So like the Panicans, as they call it, the people that are concerned about foreign intervention, rightly so, after the whole PNAC shit that we lived through for the last 30 years, it's kind of not an unreasonable thing to be concerned about, right? But so, like, the people that are concerned about foreign war, they are being called. Wait, what was they're being called the woke right by the people that are just blindly trusting of absolutely everything that Donald Trump does. And also the opposite is true. So the people that are panicked about foreign intervention are now calling the people that trust every single word that Donald Trump says the woke right. So both of these factions have emerged in a couple of hours. Mm-hmm. They're both calling each other woke right, including and this is why it confuses the shit out of me, including people like Odin's Men and stuff like that. And I think at first I thought he was trolling, but now I actually don't. I don't know what the fuck to think. What the fuck, like. Anyway, I've been talking for a bit. What do you guys think?
Oh, there's so many parts of the swimming pool we could all go treading around in.
Tread wherever you want.
I can't go too deep. I'll drown.
I have never seen one nation try so hard. Did you ever have a friend in high school that was always trying to figure out a way how to get you to go along with something, but you knew it would get you in trouble if you did it, but you got talked into it anyway?
Yeah, the reckless drinker. Yeah, the reckless drunk.
Yeah. This is what Israel is right now to America. Mm-hmm. Israel is doing, let me rephrase that. The current government of Israel is doing everything it can to get America to go along with them on this, whatever it is they're trying to do where it relates to Iran. And, quite rightly, a significant number of people for various reasons are sitting there looking at our president who promised everybody, hey, we're not going to get involved in anybody else's messes. We're not going to do it. And we're all sitting there going, yep, we're with you, brother. Sounds good to me.
It was like one of his election promises. Now people are always saying like, oh, well, yeah, he also promised that Iran could never have a nuclear. Oh, shut the fuck up.
Well, and that kind of gets to something else too that kind of torques me a little bit. Okay, we, the Americans out in the audience, and there are many of you because we know that Daniel Clancy is a very popular social media content creator, and hundreds of you are watching right now. So for all you Americans out in the audience, go with it, Daniel. If somebody tried to tell America you cannot have nuclear power, now how the heck would we take that? We'd look at the entire world and go, hell no, hold my beer. We're going to go do it anyway. Yes. So why should the Iranians be any different? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, that country is run by crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it would be the same as if somebody said, "Hey, listen, we are going to put this little itty bitty tiny tax on your tea, or whatever."
Exactly.
Right? Like, I mean, that it's that spirit.
Are the well, yeah, okay. There's that. I see what you're doing there, but like, we've got other crazy nations that are not Islamic, like North Korea, that have weapons.
Yeah.
The nuclear. We know that the weapons. We've seen them out on the parade. Like it's not a secret.
Yeah, they have nukes now.
Yeah.
For some reason, America didn't stop that from happening.
No, but this is. See, they consider the ideology to be less suicidal. I guess that's their assessment, or at least that's the outward claim. That, North Korea is not going to kill everyone because, they haven't and they're not Muslim. So, maybe they've got a point there. Islam does have a very different, it has a very different value on individual life.
Okay, but I grant you that. But my point is this. Why do we, the United States, get to dictate to Iran? I mean, because the position on this shifted somewhere like the first of this year. Because prior to about, let's say, February, Trump was like, look, they can't have a nuclear weapon. Then somewhere along the way, he shifted over to the Israeli position of, you're not going to have nuclear anything, Jack. Nothing. Yeah. If you want to enrich uranium for power production, forget it. We're not even going to let you do that. And I'm sitting here going, okay, yeah, granted, these people are run by crazy, and I don't dispute that at all. But who are we to tell the Iranians or anybody else in the world, you cannot pursue a particular form of energy that, is to the benefit of your country? I mean, there are so many permutations in this whole thing that make me want to turn my stomach and is turning my stomach. And the worst part about it is I just feel like we're being led around we, the Americans, are being led around by the nose, voluntarily being led around by the nose by Benjamin Netanyahu and all this.
And it seems like the people that are trusting, the trusters, which is such a fucking... How could Orwell would be spinning in his grave? Honestly, Jesus Christ! The complete complete deferral of thought to this guy because you like him. It's like, yeah, you like Gina, you like Donald Trump, surely.
Okay, well, from my point of view, I was a former Democrat.
Right.
I was told by MAGA and Republicans to ask questions to figure out what this whole situation is. Now that I'm on this side and I have questions, they're like, nope, just trust.
How dare you?
It's a chess game, just trust it. And I'm like, now I'm confused because you told me to ask questions. Now I'm not allowed to ask questions.
Well, but no, now hang on a second, though. To me, anybody that's doing that to you or anybody else is, in my book, not truly MAGA. Because to me, we are not a cult. Yes, there are a lot of people who think Donald Trump walks on water and can do no wrong. That is far from the truth.
I'm noticing a lot of cult behavior, brother.
I don't disagree with you, brother.
Way bigger than I thought it was, than I hoped.
But my point is this. As far as I'm concerned, and a significant part of MAGA, America First, whatever you want to call it, hey, we're all for having the debate. And frankly, I think that is severely missing right now because there's a lot of questions that the Israeli government owes answers to the American people on.
Oh, you anti-Semite, you. How fucking dare you say that, Brian? Oh my God. Laura Loomer is going to come into your house and kill you in the night.
Bring it on, bitch. I am not scared of Laura Loomer.
She's taking lists. Did you know she's
Put me on it?
They're taking lists.
Put me on it, Laura. If you're watching this, and I know you are, put me on the list. Go ahead.
If I'm not on that list, I will be upset.
Okay, but so here's a thing, right? Why does Iran want uranium? Now I know the answer. It's a question to you guys, and everyone else that they're not allowed to have it. Well, okay, well, why? And what happens if
they're not allowed to?
Well, what happens if they don't have it? They need it for power. So, and what about medical isotopes? That's always a thing. We don't have enough of those. So, all right. So, well, the agreement was, Iran, you're not allowed to enrich it. Iran said, okay. Well, then how?
Beyond a certain percent, right?
No. Iran, you are not allowed to have it. And Iran said, fine. America was like, what you're going to do is you're going to purchase it from third-party nations, and then you can use whatever you get to do the non-nuclear power, like the non-weapon.
So you can buy it from Australia and run it.
You can buy it from Australia. You can buy it from Argentina. You can buy it from all these places, and then you can do your little bullshit with it, and everything's going to be fine. And then Iran was like, "Yeah, okay, that's reasonable. That is in accord to the treaty that we've signed. That is fine." And then everything was great, with the small exception that America then went around to the third-party nations and said, do not sell to them. We told them to come to you to buy it, but now we're telling you not to sell it to them. And then so Iran was like, well, fuck, I guess we have to enrich it ourselves. And so then they did.
Well, and worse than that, I mean, rounds about February or March, Witkoff, who's Trump's envoy to the Middle East, is negotiating with the Iranians, and we almost had it done. Because the Iranians were, I mean, Sean and you pointed out brilliantly, the Iranians were like, okay, fine.
There's been a fatwa on nuclear weapons since 2003 or something.
Yeah, we will not enrich uranium for the purpose of producing weapons.
Well, they're going to sign a treaty.
Then Trump got greedy and said, okay, not only will you not do that, you will not have any nuclear production, period. And the Iranians like, whoa, hold it. Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, because they know what happens if they don't. They can't get it from anywhere else.
Exactly. And then you've got all of a sudden Netanyahu, the boy, how do I want to put this? The boy who cried wolf, who said, oh my God, they're 2 weeks away from getting a bomb. They're 2 weeks away from getting a bomb. The same thing he's been saying since 1997.
Or 92, at least.
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, this boy's been crying wolf for like going on 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, at what point does everybody stop and say, how long have you been doing this to us?
I don't know I don't know if you guys know, but actually, there's just a in Israel they found a new Dead Sea Scroll. They opened it up, and it said the Persians are 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon.
As the lightning comes down through the roof of his house and strikes him dead.
Well, this is the thing. I think this was a big this tweet above this truth or whatever they hate calling it that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing that really. I mean, I was kind of like not really drawn into the argument so much, more of an observer until this came along, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this cunt talking about? He is just, even if he's trolling, he's aggravating now. He's being disrespectful to the American people and the world. He's being very disrespectful. And of course, Cat Turd would crucify me for saying that about his fucking bodhisattva. But, you know, he's a human being, a great human being. I like Donald Trump a lot. I think he was the best choice. Yeah. But this is disgusting disrespect. And I don't forgive it, actually. That's okay. I don't have to forgive it. You know, again, I don't have to approve of everything. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this misstep. I'll never forget how malleable he actually was.
He got
when we thought he never was.
He got swept away. Donald Trump has never been in control or in charge of this situation. Not just this situation, Ukraine as well. The Ukraine-Russian situation is the same as this. Donald Trump is not in control. He's being swept away by Israel and warhawks.
Absolutely. He's Elijah Schaffer. Anyone using the word Panican in the last 48 hours is officially the most easily influenced NPC brain rot version of a human being. Never seen a word adopted and astroturfed in a cult-like manner since 2 weeks to slow the spread in 2020. And that is nail on the head.
Or the whole, you guys remember the Patriot Act and how the Patriot Act got put into place?
Yes.
This is the Patriot Act all over again.
Well,
kind of, but
the Patriot Act,
Peace through strength is a fucking mantra now.
Yeah,
I do want to put it into perspective. I want to say, like, as a quote unquote panicker, I'm not totally panicked that this is going to cascade into World War III, like a lot of people have been saying. That's kind of very extreme. However, the risk for protracted conflict that has no benefit to the United States or its allies is extremely high. Extremely high. And people think that this is all over now because, you know, there's a temporary ceasefire for the moment, which was violated within the first few moments.
It's not a ceasefire.
Well, that's what it's been called.
Yeah, I know that's what it's called, but it's not what it is.
All right. Well, what was it?
It is a consensus to cease hostilities. And you might go, a ceasefire. No, a ceasefire is formal.
It's not that either.
This is an informal thing.
In words, maybe they agreed to, but they didn't stop exchanging hostilities. And like, only up until fucking Trump, and now everyone, what was it? Fucking everyone's frothing over the fuck that Trump dropped the F-bomb on the fucking White House lawn this morning because he's pissed off. Like, he's pissed off. He usually is quite reserved with his language. He's a boomer like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 100% right. They have been fighting for so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't.
Well, but what makes this morning even more telling is a couple things. I mean, so Trump drops that post on Truth Social last night around 6:00 in the evening Eastern Standard and says we've got a ceasefire between the Iranians and lays out the terms under which it's going to go. He'd been working the phones all day, working the phones all evening, working the phones up until like the wee hours of Tuesday morning, the 24th. Okay. Well, apparently, and this is reporting from Axios.com. There's a reporter over there named Mark Caputo. A rocket gets shot off from inside Iran toward southern Israel. Okay, one rocket, whatever. Doesn't really do anything, da-da-da-da. The Israelis, on the other hand, just unload everything they've got. Trump's on the phone with Netanyahu, ripping him a new asshole over the whole thing. And
Capitals on Truth about it.
Oh yeah, and then you know, Netanyahu tells him, and again, this is from Mark Caputo's reporting, tells him okay, we're going to back this down, yada, yada. Trump goes to bed. Trump wakes up 3 hours later and finds out Netanyahu had lied to him.
Again.
So Trump dropping an F-bomb was probably the tamest thing Trump could have done in that moment. You know, I mean, I will say this.
Do you know, I think a move like that could be, I'm sorry I interrupted you, Brian,
Right.
but I think he should cut all foreign aid from that nation today.
Well, I mean,
all financial aid.
Hold on, because I got something to add to that by way of related information. I don't think Trump did all this on purpose. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, Trump's playing 4D chess." No, he's managing circumstances as they're happening. My point is this: if ever somebody wanted to show how disingenuous the government of Israel is right now, this whole spectacle over the past 12 to 18 hours is all the proof you need. If anybody's sitting there going, yeah, you know, Israel's still the good guys in all this, yada, yada, yada. No, I'm sorry. The government of Israel is as duplicitous as it gets. Netanyahu is more crooked than a dog's hind leg. Now, talking about, you know, cutting off things from Israel or anybody in the Middle East, the Mossad was talking with the CIA. Whoever the head of the Mossad was talking with John Ratcliffe, our CIA director, and telling them, hey, this ceasefire means nothing to us. We're going forward. We're going to keep on doing whatever we're doing. And Ratcliffe had to threaten them with, you guys do anything else, and we are cutting off any intelligence sharing with you. We'll just stop it cold. And that finally got the Mossad to rein themselves in for a little bit. I mean,
it's interesting because I always saw the Mossad as being the bigger brother in that relationship.
Well, I can understand. I agree with that. But, you know,
as in the one that calls the actual shots.
Yeah, well,
I don't think they run America, but I do believe that they have primacy over the CIA. I do believe that.
Well, as far as their intelligence gathering operations, I mean, the Mossad's the best in the world by reputation, but the U.S. isn't slouches either. And basically, Ratcliffe had to, you do one more thing, we'll stop giving you anything we've got, no matter what it is. And that finally got the Mossad to pull up short. So, yeah, I mean, this whole past 18 hours, I mean, look, I have not a thing in the world against the people of Israel. They're just like Americans or Canadians or anybody else or Australians. Everybody wants to live in peace. They want to be prosperous. They want, you know, a good life for themselves, for their family, their children, etc. In that regard, I have not a problem with the people of Israel. It's their government right now that's ruling over them is the biggest detriment we've got to peace. I'm sorry.
How long has Bibi been there? Like 12 years at least?
Oh, Bibi off and on has been there since the 90s.
Yeah, but like in this last stint, like the last uninterrupted stint, 12 years.
15 years, something like that.
Yeah. Crazy.
So the thing that really brought this to a close was Iran beginning operations to block the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
That and only that it was the main factor. I mean, the reason why Trump did the surprise in the middle of the night when he did was because Israel was running out of missiles.
Hold on, what do you mean surprise? You mean the bombing of Fordo?
Well, because it started in 2 weeks, turned into within 2 weeks, turned into surprise 2 days later.
It was always within 2 weeks. It was always within 2 weeks.
But the point he's making, I know he's getting at, the Iron Dome is built on a whole series of defensive missiles that can knock down anything coming in. The Israelis were reaching the point, as of last night, they were running out. I mean, a lot of people have speculated, and I think
they couldn't have waited those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They were pulling Patriot missiles from Taiwan and Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe this. I believe
and the arrows or whatever. So Patriots only go so far, right? But then the arrows, they're the longer range ones. They're almost out.
Yeah.
And their little laser bullshit that they have, that barely fucking works at all. So the Iron Dome is
well, they're not going to be able to do shit against hypersonic missiles.
Well, and the whole reason for this ceasefire, or whatever we want to call it, was, you know, everybody's realizing, crap, if we don't get something done here Tel Aviv could be rubble before it's all said and done.
Israel was
That's the way it's
losing.
going.
Israel was
You
losing
know what? I
bad.
don't actually care if that happens. I actually don't care.
Mhm.
Let it.
And then
Cancel me off YouTube. I don't care. Call me names. I don't care if Tel Aviv falls to rubble. I just don't care. I mean,
Well,
could
they'll
that,
make a new Tel Aviv. I'm sure it's
if it
fine.
comes to my door, we'll deal with it.
But then, as Iran went in, sort of blocking the Strait of Hormuz, all of a sudden,
fuck all for us.
well, look at Donald Trump's True Social posts when all of a sudden he was like, "Nobody raise gas prices." No, he's panicking. It's like his hair's on.
He
Nobody
was.
raise gas
He
prices.
was.
And then he a random out of the fucking blue truth post about how the Department of Energy needs to drill, baby, drill. Like,
So he's asking speculators to commit financial suicide for him. Just trust me, trust me, trust me.
and then
Don't
he makes Mark Rubio call China because the EU and China would have been the most impacted with the Strait of Hormuz blocked, right?
Mhm.
The rest of the world heavily impacted as well, but China deeply impacted. Iran was like, yes, but we're going to let those ships through. We're going to let the
Basically-
Chinese ones through. So what? Like, and so Mark Rubio Trump gets Rubio to call China to beg like a fucking like I don't know, the groveling woman or something. Not woman, but you know what I mean.
There's a lot of interesting, like, little bits and pieces of information to do with the actual wider conflict and that geopolitical situation. I think the main reason that I did this episode was, and with that, we can still talk about that, although I'm sure Gina will hate us for it. It's this social contagion thing that's going. This fucking interesting little, like, basically half of, and it is a good half of MAGA, at least that is visible on Twitter. Now, I know Twitter isn't MAGA, and it's probably just the extreme version, but a good half of the vocal voices that represent MAGA on Twitter have revealed themselves as tankies. Like, they really have.
They want to go to war. Peace through strength. Peace through strength. Like,
No,
why
it's
is there
trust
a
whatever he said. It's just trust whatever he says.
But it's like a mantra. I'm like, this is some cult-like fucking behavior. And then when I go into Handy News chat for example, and they're like, propaganda, Trump talking points. And I'm like, no, that's not none of this stuff is true. This is
true.
This is not true. So a lot of this stuff, and everyone's eating it
bot.
up, and I point out, hey, you know what? Maybe that's not true because of this set of facts. They're it's really weird because a leftist shout source. What's your source on that? All of a sudden, I start to hear that kind of stuff, and I'm like, whoa, what is this? Like, I'm not one to be wrong about foreign stuff. I pay quite a amount of attention to this stuff, and
Cosmic's going to ban everyone in the name of peace. That's very clever.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's just crazy how a lot of MAGA has I don't know, they've
I don't like this. I don't like this intellectual beehive that MAGA is starting to create. That's what the left does.
Yes.
On our side of the aisle, there's supposed to be a healthy ability to debate.
I was told not to ask questions. Just
the
trust.
left calls me Ivan because I tell them that Ukraine's losing the war. Objectively, they are badly on the brink of fucking collapse. I'm called Ivan, and then now that I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe bombing Iran is a very bad idea because they just signed a 20-year deal with Russia.
Do you know what the difference here is?
And then they call me Muhammad. What the fuck?
Do you know what the difference here is? Like, so imagine, Gina, when you were coming into this fold of, like, conservatism, was that it was probably something and I'm just guessing, so correct me if I'm wrong. Probably had something vaguely to do, if not adjacent to, the COVID vaccine.
100%.
Okay, so now Operation Warp. Someone's calling me. Operation Warp Speed. It's probably the Jews. No, it's I think Operation Warp Speed.
It's Laura Loomer.
Yeah, she says death is calling. She is the Grim Reaper, that bitch. No, but what was I even saying?
So it was COVID that made me start questioning things.
Right. So Operation
Me
Warp
too.
Speed. Now, most of the MAGA base was like, nah, Trump, you've gone wrong there. They had the ability at this early stage to criticize things that were worth criticizing.
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Even Laura Loomer would do it. Now, and I'll get on to her in a minute, but now it's just like, you do not go out of line. You do not go out of line, or we will crucify you. You will basically be buried in your bed. And that is totally at odds with how they used to be. And has it just been, is it now that have their minds been infected? Have they become tankies? Or were they always this way and they've just emerged now more honest?
So again, COVID is what drew me to dig deeper into things. Now, Republicans have always been very civil, very nice. Hey, read the facts. Hey, if you have any questions, ask me. I'll keep it civil, and they do. Okay, I've never had a problem. But now that I'm here and I'm asking questions, they're like, "Oh, are you really a true Republican now?" Or I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Just don't question any of my specific positions and you'll be fine. Don't question Israel and you'll be fine.
And I'm not second guessing voting for Trump. I did the right thing in my mind. I think he was the best person and is the best person for the job, but I don't like how I'm being treated now. And it's really making me consider sometimes, like, where did I fall in this line?
Yeah. And that's a very fair thing to be thinking.
Like, the whole thing is to ask questions, both sides, not just one-sided questions. Like, the kids do it all the time. Mom, can I do this? No. And then they go ask dad. That's what your whole position is a person is, well, if you don't like the answer, go ask somebody else until you find the answer you're looking for. But now that you're here and you're asking questions, they're like, no.
The line was very clear with COVID, right? The leftists were basically pro all of the stuff, and conservatives were pretty much against all of the stuff, even when Donald Trump was pro all of the stuff. So it was easy for MAGA to go, no, Donald Trump got it wrong, and or boo him at rallies because the left was still against them. But now that the left is like, no, war, we don't want, stop dropping bombs on people. It's hard. And so I think this is less about Donald Trump than it is about what the left is doing. Since the left is like, no war, don't drop bombs, maybe stay out of there. Well, that's our position. We can't take the same position as them, because then what does that make us? That the world's colliding and all of that stuff. So I guess by default, our brains tell us that we must do the opposite.
Well, that's why they're telling me I'm going back to the Democrat side, because I'm like, wait, what? I thought we all didn't want war.
It's so confusing and it's very disheartening.
Well, here's my thing. And again, I haven't waded real deep into the waters on this debate about what is a Panican and what is a rational or whatever. But here's my thing. I'm sorry. Right now, there is a nexus between two different parts of the world. You have a government in Israel that wants nothing more than to take down the regime in Iran. I'm sorry. This is not about nuclear weapons. This is not about, keeping the Iranians from having a bomb. No, they want rid of the Ayatollah. They want rid of that regime. And then you've got neoconservatives over here that believe we need to keep the world in a state of war. And it's better for everybody if we do, because we are the predominant superpower. That assumption's kind of shaky these days. But you take the two of those things together, and now they're trying to redefine what is MAGA. Oh, well, if you don't want to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, then you're not MAGA. No. You're trying to hijack what we are in the name of getting your regime change done.
Yeah, but
don't tell me what MAGA is and is not.
why does that bloc now want regime change though? Like, is it because in my opinion, and this is going to sound very like Jewish conspiracy, and I'm not you're a Jew guy. I just am not that guy. I'm becoming more of one though lately, to be honest. Is that like, I think the Jewish lobby has got to these people and convinced them that this war is a good and righteous thing, and that
let me give you something.
And this is why Laura Loomer in other areas will disagree with Donald Trump as proof. Oh, look, it's not a cult. Even Tim Pool's raised her up as a herald. It's like, look, Laura Loomer, his most staunch supporter, she'll disagree with him. Not on Israel.
Here, let me give you something a little closer to home from the American side of this whole thing. There is a clip, and it can be easily found anywhere on the internet. General Wesley Clark, former commander of CENTCOM, and he was giving a lecture somewhere. He was being interviewed by someone, and he tells a story that about 8 or 9 days after 9/11, back in 2001, he walked around the Pentagon, visiting some old friends of his. He walked into a general's office, and the general said to him, "Well, we're invading Iraq." And this took Wesley Clark by complete surprise. He's like, "What, did you guys find some kind of tie-in between Al-Qaeda and Iraq?" No, just came down from upstairs from the secretary's office. We're invading Iraq. He's like, wait a minute, what? So he came back a few months later, General Wesley Clark, and he saw this same general again. He said, so we still invading Iraq? Oh, yeah. Not only that, we're invading 5 or 6 other countries, too. We're going to take care of Libya. We're going to take care of Syria. We're going to take care of the Sudan. We're going to take care of, and then finally, we're going to end it up with Iran. This has been going on for years inside the United States. There is a group of neoconservative thinkers that have wanted desperately since 2001 to take down certain regimes in the world on the grounds that if we do it now, we'll have about 10 years before we got to deal with any other superpower in the world. May as well go ahead and clean it all up. I mean, the Israelis have wanted to get rid of Iran's regime for any number of reasons, for any number of years. In America, this idea has been kicking around for the past 25 years. So.
Yeah. I want to say Dewey in the audience here, she's like fucking hilarious. She's the best. What did she say here? I am one, Daniel, and I don't even like them. Listen, Dewey, I have literally nothing against Israeli people at all. Like I would be often say, like one of my most favorite boss ever, Shlomit. Very awkward name, but that's just she was Israeli. She didn't call herself Jewish. She called herself Israeli. That's how they went by, because I guess is the difference between Zionist or whatever. I'm not really sure. She was just fucking awesome. I really liked her as a friend and a boss. And I've had many other Jewish friends that don't push any of their ideology on me or any. And so literally en masse, I don't actually have an issue. It is the Israeli government, and that's largely Netanyahu, although I'm sure it goes back beyond him as well.
He's surrounded by war hawks as well.
Yes, yeah. So it can't be just this one guy, right? And there is a long-standing attitude within that sort of mindset. I don't know what you want to call it, but look, on for the most part, the Jewish people or Israeli people are great.
Yeah.
And we have a lot in common.
Yeah, and like I said, I have not like you. I don't have a problem with the Jewish people. They're like Australians or Canadians or Americans or anybody else. They just want to live in peace, enjoy a level of prosperity, whatever that may be. And, hopefully for their country and for their families, see better days than they've known themselves.
This is just a pissing match between fucking leaders. That's all this is.
Yeah, it really is.
My bomb's bigger than your bombs. I can tell you what to do. No, you can't. Watch what I can do. That's all it is.
Well, Israel really thought that they could do it. Like they really thought that they could, send a few bombs in and have a country of 92 million all of a sudden swap out a government, and regime change has never happened by bombs.
No.
What's up, old pirate?
Hello, bold pirate.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
We've got you're the first Rumble chatter for today. In fact, there's more people on Rumble, but there's way more chatters on YouTube.
With the lurkers.
Yeah, the lurkers. That's okay. We love you, lovely
We love
lurkers.
the lurkers. Lurk away. Just smash the like button.
Creepy prowlers, you.
Leave a comment in chat. Hit that like button. Share the link around with your friends. And if you have some extra coin in your pocket from after you pay your bills, well, you know,
Give it to the Jews. No, I mean, you need to convert it to shekels. And
I don't know why he's saying give it to the Jews. I mean what's it, boy? I don't know.
Cosmic's notifying the ADL immediately. In fact, they've probably already got bugs in my home. Don't they have them in everyone's?
No, I was going to say
I'm totally getting cancelled off YouTube.
the electronic tin cup is out, so Mr. Clancy will be happy to accept your coins or shekels or whatever denomination they may come in. So.
You're right. That's right, Brian. Speaking of which, you can go to danielclancy.net/donate and give me fucking money.
Wow.
But you can if you want. I mean, that's just kind of a bit cheeky of me to just come out and ask like that. But, you know, there were some campaigns here that I could... Oh, I missed them. There'll be another one. Oh, no, I don't have enough people watching yet. That's why. When I do, I'll read an ad and really fucking upset everyone.
So you're part of that Rumble Creator Program thing.
No, I'm not. But you can still read the ads without it. Like
if you use Rumble Studio, whether you ingress through it with StreamYard or if you just use it naked the way that we're doing now, you get to read Rumble ads.
And that's great because I think that Rumble Studio for me is too onerous to enter into because it just requires too many streaming. Now, don't argue with me, Sean, because it's the streaming hours. I don't care what your tweet says. You need to stream 30 hours a month, and that's too much. If you could get away with VODs, and maybe in the future they'll allow it that way. But that's okay. It's just for me, it doesn't work for me. But it still means that I can come on, read ads, and earn like some money for it. It's good. I think it's good. It's a good sort of like middle ground.
You could also piggyback off of us.
What do you mean? Huh? But say again.
What do you mean piggyback off of us?
Piggyback.
The same way that Mikey does.
I didn't know what you meant. Thought you said I didn't know you said piggyback. You said it in your funny Bostonian accent. Actually, you said it.
Wait, I didn't hear an aya in her voice. What are you talking about?
Go on, give us some of your fucking accent, Gina. Park your car for us.
You want me to park my car?
Yeah, and
drive around the roadway and fill my water up at the bubbler.
What about your idea? Do you have any ideas?
The idea is I'm not allowed to ask questions anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Go with the flow.
No, look, hey, Hillary Clinton said a long time ago, it is patriotic to ask questions. So yes, you ask all the questions you want, young lady.
I'm gonna, even if it gets me into trouble.
Oh, good.
I like trouble.
Dewey has given us all a Jew pass tonight. I really appreciate that. Does that mean we get like showered in money?
Speaking of that, I have to call my grandma's boyfriend. He told me I could go get my toes done next week.
Is he Jewish?
Oh.
He is.
Okay.
And his last name is Quinn.
All right. The last point before I deke out of here. You guys can hold on to Gina for a few more minutes if you want.
Yeah, you gotta go do this show.
Did anybody else?
No one asked me.
Did anybody else notice that with this regime change that they're trying to do, they were trying to install the son of the person that they installed before this current government overthrew them?
I'm going to be honest with you because I'm honest all the time. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, can you repeat that for me? Because I wasn't listening because I'm just like that. So
what year was that, Brian? Was that the
1952?
Okay. Iran had a lovely government that wasn't. It was a lovely government, but
Are you
it
talking
wasn't.
about when they were under King Shah or whatever?
It wasn't.
No, this is before the Shah.
Before
Oh.
the Shah. So they had a lovely government that wasn't exactly pro-America, but it was a great government. The people liked it. So then what they did, the CIA went in and they overthrew that government, installed the Shah. Right?
Shah is the word for king, right? It's not. That's
Something
not his
like-
name, is it?
I don't
It's
know.
like
I don't-
Emir,
don't
Shah, king. Okay, yeah.
And then so I don't know why it was this guy. I don't know if he just became a king or called himself a king. I don't know the specific history on that. But anyways, so the current regime, the Ayatollah and all that shit, they overthrew him.
Yeah.
Okay. People rose up and like, yeah, what the CIA did here, we don't like. We're overthrowing this, and they did, and shit got way more Muslim. Okay, so
we're the overthrowers.
So now, Netanyahu and Trump were thinking they were going to overthrow this regime and install the son of the Shah. It's like, but you already tried that family one time, and it didn't work. Why would you do it again?
No, I don't disagree with you.
That would be like the Democrats overthrowing Trump and installing Hunter Biden.
Yeah, but is there any other choice? I think Brian's gone on a freeze game.
Maybe he's just very.
Hang on, I'm working on trying to get this thing going again. Hang on.
Oh, you're right. I can hear you perfectly fine though. And you're frozen, fortunately, on a kind of very
very
sophisticated looking. Yeah. Oh, now he's dropped out. He'll be back. But yeah, it's all very, very.
All right, I need to go do my stream. You can hold on to Gina for a few minutes if you'd like, just so you're not here by yourself. Okay, chat. Anyone on YouTube and or Rumble that's not following me, I am Sean of Third Railify. You can find me at Third Railify on YouTube, at Third Railify on Rumble, at Third Railify on Twitter. So, yeah, if that Jew girl is out there, you should consider it.
Dewey, you will love Sean's show. It's fucking hilarious. In fact, I'm going to raid into it. I'm going to raid into it on here and on Pilled. And by the way, Pilled tagged us or tagged me.
Yes, they do. Pilled is very good for that. But anyways, I love you all, and I hopefully will see you in a couple of minutes on mine. Although, Dan, don't think you need to raid into me right away. Take your time, and just
I'll be here with a little bit with Brian. Gina showed me how to do it last time, so
yeah. You just you do that. Since Brian's not here, anyways, give him my love and all of that stuff.
I'm here.
We can hear him. He's a ghost in the background.
Okay, because I love Brian, and I know you can hear me. He's a ghost in the background. He has a habit of, hey, Sean, listen, in the next couple of days, I'm going to get a hold of you. And then a couple of weeks go by. Hey, Sean, in the next couple of days, I'm going to get a hold of you. And then a couple of weeks go by. Hey, Sean, in the next couple of days, I'm going to get a hold of you.
I'm sending you. I'm like,
Brian, what are you doing to me, man? Anyways, that's actually
I take from that Canuck.
I love you all. I love you all, including Ghost Boy. Anyways, I have to go, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Don't fuck up the show.
What? Look.
He is famous for when I am not there at first of running amok.
He does do that. Hey, but he's a cheeky little cunt, so that's why we love him.
Hang on. I'm going to step out
about him running amok.
All right, Brian. This is the one thing I don't like about fucking Rumble Studio.
Oh, you're a ghost in the background when you can't be seen?
Yeah. It's not fair.
He's just dropped out to do a little quick refresh thing. If you need to go, Gina, though, that's okay. You don't feel bad.
No. I can listen. I want to see what he can do without me.
I can survive. I can survive on my own now that we've started.
No, but to all fairness, like I said, I'm from Boston. It's one of the biggest fucking Democratic places in the earth. Let's face it.
Yeah.
I don't think it will ever be red. It came really close this time. Maine is going to definitely change. New Hampshire's on the verge. I think Massachusetts, California, those places will never.
Yeah, if it didn't change in this last lot, it might probably never. Who else
Yeah.
is going to bring it closer?
And it was COVID that made me sit there and question everything of why do they hate this man so much?
Yeah.
And then you start doing the research, you start looking into it. They ask you to ask questions. Super inviting. Yeah, ask questions. This is what we know. This is what our side's about. This is what that side's about. Oh, okay. I looked into it. I learned a lot. And I voted for the first time in my entire life Republican. Or a guy that pretty much is completely hated in my state. And now that I'm here and, we went on the assumptions of, save the babies, no wars, peace on earth. What the fuck are we doing?
The no wars was a big one, though, wasn't it? Like, it was a really big, like a huge ticket of his promises.
Because that's what his big whole thing is. I'm the president of no war. I know how to talk. I know how to get us out of things. That will never happen because I won't allow it. Like, now that I'm questioning it, now I'm being told I'm a bad fucking bad.
Yeah, well, it's also like to say no war is this like
it's impossible.
I'm not stupid. Like I'm not an absolutist on anything. Like I do understand and appreciate that some wars are required when it comes to your doorstep, and there's like sort of, but this was utterly needless.
Yes.
And I think you still muted, Brian. You just got to click your little fucking the interface here.
There we go.
There we are. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say here's my problem with all this, and this position is not necessarily original to me, but I wholeheartedly agree with the sentiment. If the Israelis feel that they need to launch a preemptive strike on the Islamic Republic of Iran, do they have the right to do it? Yes, in the same way we would have the right to retaliate or do a preemptive against someone we thought was a threat. Now, do I recommend they do it? No, because I think this little 12-day war proves
13 and counting now, Brian.
Yeah, 13 days and counting. Proves that Iran is a much more formidable nation when it comes to waging war than everybody's given them credit for. I think and again, not original to me, I think the Israelis bit off a whole lot more they could chew. If Trump doesn't get that ceasefire in place, then odds are Tel Aviv would have been rubble at some point in the near future because they were running out of missiles to defend themselves.
Well, they burnt them all up on killing babies in Gaza.
Well, yeah.
And, I can say that because that is what they fucking did. At this late stage, I'm comfortable actually being in that position now. I wasn't going to take that for the longest time, but it's kind of undeniable at this point. Yeah. There's nothing left.
Now, but here's the other thing. If Israel wants to launch a preemptive strike against Iran, I don't think you should do it, but you have every right to do so. However, don't go dragging us into it with the expectation that we're going to bail you out when things start getting bad. There's no strategic value to us in getting into this thing. There's
Tim Pool, I was watching him last night, regrettably. He's right a lot of the time, though. He was saying, like, he thinks that Trump should, next time the renewal for funding comes around, he should be like, instead of $2 billion, how about $1 billion? And be like, well, why? And he says, oh, well, you want to question it? How about half a billion?
Yeah.
Now that you got
how about 200 million? How about don't fuck with me? Don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
We're the biggest country on earth. We can crush you into sand. Fuck you, cunt. Do not fuck with me.
There needs to be consequences to Netanyahu over this. I'm sorry.
There won't be, though. Because there won't be. And that will be the ultimate proof that Israel completely runs over America. They might not run it, but they have complete impunity.
So my last take before I head out, because I have to go potty and then head over there, is I don't know if you guys have noticed. What did you just say?
I'm exploding like a beetroot.
No, that's fine. The last few posts that Trump has had, the last few things that I have listened to him and his team speak about, has anyone noticed how it's always God bless Israel first,
Israel. Mm-hmm.
and America comes like third or fourth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, one of his, I forget who it was, also in their speech said the same thing. God bless Israel, Israel, blah, 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 blah.
I will
And then
say, as
America's
a
like an
stylist,
afterthought, and it's starting to drive me up a wall because I'm catching it more and more and more.
I know, but like as a stylist, and I've thought about this because they put a lot of this is kind of goes to heraldry. It's part of heraldry. The way that they speak they have to put America last because it's the sign off. If he put Israel last, they would be signing off on that, and that would be in fact a worse sin than mentioning Israel first.
Okay. So see,
Now,
I'm
I have thought of
educated.
it both ways,
I'm
but yeah,
educated in that. So now it makes sense to me. See, before I would just let it fester. So how many other people don't know that?
well, I don't know that as a definite thing, but like it seems to be that's almost certainly what it is.
But
I
that's what
haven't
I'm
considered
saying
it
is
both ways. Yeah.
now it makes sense in my brain, whereas before it pissed me off. Now that could make sense in
Yeah.
my brain.
But it does still annoy you, like to
It
hear it like
annoys the absolutely ever crap out of me because it's like, aren't we supposed to be first?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But I don't know. I still, even though that makes sense, I still don't feel like we're being put first in this pissing match.
and he's called out both warmongers. Yes, he has now. He has done that now.
Yeah, I think Trump.
Finally.
I think Trump realizes what was
I love
being
you
done
guys.
to him. All right, be good. Be good.
See you,
Be good.
Gene. I love ya.
Bye, babe.
My husband's not here, guys.
I know it's just fun.
Speaking of, I have to go rescue him.
No, you stay with me. Heck them.
We'll have to do another show. I
Sounds
don't
good.
think I've ever been on your show, Brian.
I know. I gotta have you on sometime, darling.
Yeah, we gotta have a fun show over there.
It's just /raid, then the link, isn't it, to the actual
/raid space, and then copy the link for his show tonight, the live link.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you soon. You better be there.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna finish up with
Brian,
Brian.
if you want me to send you the link, I'll send you the link. You can just surprise him.
Send me the link. I'm not guaranteeing I'll stop in, but I got to make a phone call after I'm done to the lady, and if I'm still up after that, then I may stop in, but no guarantees.
Sounds good, love.
Thank you, darling.
Bye.
Gina. I won't keep you too much longer, Brian.
No, as long as you want, that's fine.
I know you've got a life and things to do, but I did want to just like fucking chat with someone because like it was just. It just drove me insane yesterday because I'm like, look, I'm not American. And so I'm already feeling a little bit.
I hadn't noticed. What?
Did you not know this, Brian? I'm not. Secret. But, so, it can feel a little bit awkward sometimes jumping into the conversation of the MAGA stuff because, I ideologically align with MAGA. I've got the fucking hat, but I'm not an American. I still agree with America coming first. That has a cascading benefit to the rest of the West and therefore me. And also, it's a kind of a sort of a dream I've given up on now, just out of. But like, I really wanted to go to America one day and like become American one day. I think that's probably never going to happen. But I still want it to be a great place. It breaks my heart to see it fall over, and so like in all of that sense, I feel like I am part of this MAGA movement. You know what I mean? But now that I've been just sort of like wholly unwelcomed for being concerned about the things we were promised, and being concerned whether it was a promise or not, just having this concern for global peace and stability and human life in general, and we are being just crucified for that. And yeah, it really upset me, and it's confused me to see so many different people that I never expected jumping on the woke right thing. Like that Jameson's Travels dude, and like his position is like, I don't want to be I'm a non-interventionalist as well, but at the end of the day, this was always going to happen. Also, so then you agree with it then? You can still disagree with it while acknowledging it might be inevitable, whether that's true or not. It probably is, but...
Mm-hmm. Well, a couple of points. I go back to what I said to Gina, and that is there is a significant group of neoconservatives that are sort of glommed on to the MAGA America First movement that are using this situation to redefine what MAGA should believe so that they can push an agenda. And because I mean, MAGA has, at least to me, has always stood for, okay, we're not going to intervene in a foreign affair unless there's a reason for us to do it. In other words, it's in our vital national security interest. Okay. You've got now, or Israel's. Now you've got, the likes of Mark Levin and a whole bunch of other people out there. No, we've got to do this. They're Hitler. We're not going to make the same mistake we made in the 30s and be isolationists. Now, whoa, Mark. If Israel wants to go do this, more power to you. Don't think you should, but you got the right to do it. But do not get us involved in it. And notice how it all went from, we've got to stop them from getting a nuke, to, hey, we got to take down this regime. Whoa, wait a minute.
Yes. So the moment that the ceasefire was announced, even before it was violated. Yep. So at this point, it's all working. In theory, even though I was trepidatious about it, on paper it was working and had been announced. Peace, Trump, peace, capital letters, peace, peace, peace. Mark Levin, very upset with this.
Oh, yeah.
Very upset with this fucking ceasefire. I hate the word ceasefire. And so did Donald Trump until a few hours ago.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
What you really think, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, this is about a group of people who have wanted to push for a regime change in Iran for decades, and they're using MAGA, or at least the pretense of being MAGA, to try to make that happen. And they're using what is common, an old intimidation tactic. If you don't agree with us, you're the bad guy. I mean, it could be take MAGA out of the whole context of all this. This is nothing more than a classic, argumentative tactic. If you're not with me, then therefore you're the enemy. No, we have the right to debate this question. We have the right to debate any question inside of MAGA to define what it is we think we want. And the American people do not want boots on the ground in Iran or any other country in the Middle East. Okay? A limited strike, maybe, but that's it. That's as far as it should go. And Trump did exactly that.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't feel he was successful in his stated objective. The only reason for American intervention was because they didn't have that specific weapon. Now, that specific weapon, was not effective. I don't believe so. I mean, they haven't been able to prove that it was, and from what it looks like, it just doesn't seem like all of their claims are saying it hasn't been. Don't know, that could be just rhetoric. But, I'm not convinced that their bunker-busting bombs actually busted the bunkers. Mm-hmm. And I'm not convinced that they needed to either. And therefore, why are we there? Why I say we?
Well, okay, two points on that. Number one, the Israelis kept claiming that they had air supremacy over Iran after the first 2 or 3 days of launching their strikes. Okay, fine. Okay. A former head of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, said that, oh yeah, we've got the option to use the Shaddad to do, man-on-man assault of these underground facilities. Now, for people out there who are watching this and you're not familiar with the Shaddad, it's Unit 50. I think it's called 5101. Basically, their specialty is going into underground facilities and neutralizing them. They did this in Gaza. Now, again, you can agree, disagree. They should or shouldn't have done it in Gaza, but that's an example of what they do.
Gaza is in terms of an environment to do it in, that's very challenging. And
but my point is this: Israel had every capability to do this without the U.S. being involved. They could have sent a commando team into Fordo, that mountain facility that the Iranians had, and they could have neutralized it. Yeah, they probably would have lost some men doing it, and yeah, it would have been a whole lot more dangerous. But the Israelis kept saying, even before we launched the B-2s, yeah, we've got all the capability that we need to do this. We can do this. To which I'd have called their bluff and said, if it had been me, I'd have looked at them and said, okay, see you later. You don't need us, obviously.
Well, that was perfectly in line with Shapiro's lineup. Israel can defend herself.
Okay.
She can defend herself. Can she?
Then what do you need us for?
Yeah.
What do you need America? If you got the capability to do this, what do you need the Americans for? What is it that you need us to do for you?
Even if the destruction of this bunker was successful, it was empty. So it was pointless. It was empty. It was emptied out long before because they had plenty of notice.
Mm-hmm.
How stupid are we? I had notice it was coming. Here in fucking Sydney, Australia, I had notice. So they must have. Mm-hmm. And this other argument of like, oh, there's so many stupid arguments that I keep hearing going around. Oh, it's a ceasefire. Why does one side get 12 hours and another side gets 20 or an extra 12 hours of unopposed fire? That seems odd. Oh, they're like, it's too many moving parts. It's too hard to slow. Why? Do they not have communication? Mm-hmm. Are these weapons not triggered by a button or some other kind of key ignition? Just don't push the button. Even if there might be many moving parts. Maybe you can't get all of the communication. So what? There's one button at the end of the command, at the end of the chain. Don't push it. Simple as that. And it should be that simple. And if it's not that simple, then we're in a much more precarious situation than anyone ever realized. Because then these giant world-ending weapons that can't be stopped at a moment.
Well, there's one more question that I'd like to have answered, and again, this is not original to me, but Steve Bannon's made this point today on his show, The War Room. And it's this. We hit 3 different facilities in Iran, okay? 2 of them, we dropped those bunker buster bombs with our B-2 bombers. The 3rd site, however, was an above-ground facility to which we launched Tomahawk missiles from some U.S. submarines, either out in the Gulf or out in the Mediterranean.
Right.
Which sort of begs the question. Now, wait a minute. Hey, Israel, you told us that you had air supremacy. Okay, then what do you need us to launch Tomahawk missiles for to knock out this site? You mean you guys didn't already have this taken care of? Why is it that we were being asked to take care of a 3rd facility that, number 1, is above ground, number 2, does not require us to use bunker buster bombs, number 3, we use Tomahawks on? Why this site, and why didn't you guys already have it taken care of? I mean, again, I don't agree with the whole mission. I mean, God bless our pilots. God bless the people who I have nothing against our soldiers and our.
Well, they're giving orders. I mean,
they're giving orders. I don't have to. But my thing is this: I would understand it if we had launched, B-2 bombers and dropped these bunker busters. The first 2 facilities, okay, I don't agree with the justification. I don't agree with any of it, but they're underground. I get that. Why are we hitting a 3rd target that's above ground when the Israelis are saying they have air supremacy and the Israelis should have already taken this site out? Why are we doing it for them? The first 2 sites I get. They're underground. You guys don't have the bunker busters. Fine.
What do you feel like the answer is, Brian?
No idea.
I mean,
idea.
Okay, without a high degree of confidence, do you have any kind of guesses?
There's something there the Israelis had to have destroyed. Now, I don't even know if it relates to the nuclear program or not. No idea.
Then why couldn't they do it?
Why this target was chosen? Why here? What is it that makes this so special? And why is it you guys didn't already have it taken care of before we started launching our B-2s? That makes no sense to me. I mean, supposedly the CIA is going to give an intelligence briefing to the Congress somewhere in the next 2 or 3 days. Now, a lot of that's going to be
canceled that today, didn't they? They were supposed to.
Yeah, it was going to be today. It was going to be today, not scheduled for Friday, and a lot of it will be classified. Unfortunately, I think, frankly, the Congress owes it to the American people. Declassify as much of it as you can, and let's hear the argument. And that's another thing that bugged me about this. When Trump made that speech Saturday night, I was pissed.
The speech, the 4-minute speech, the one where we
the 4-minute speech, and
the shortest one he's ever done, by the way, of that type ever. And he trembled halfway through when he was talking about a God.
And here's why I was pissed. You need to explain to the American people what made you shift your position. In other words, what did you see? What were you shown that made you say, okay, I don't like this, and I know I'm going back on my word, but I gotta do it. That at least would have been palatable, tolerable.
I'm going to say something that's going to upset a lot of Trump lovers out there. And I love Trump. Look, I think he's a great man. I do think he's a great man. Even with these flaws and mistakes that I'm about to call out, I think he's a great man. However, I think he's very selfish. And I think he does put himself before America. It's about Donald Trump first. His ego comes before his country. And that's going to break a lot of people's hearts because he's just not America first. He's Trump first. I think most people are themselves first and then everyone else second. You might not want to admit it, but that's generally how not everyone's like that. I think most people are when it comes down to self-preservation and all that sort of stuff.
You're right.
He's very open about being that way. Like, he's pretty boastful. Now, there is Trump first, then America first. Now, Trump is saving face with this whole fucking ceasefire and all of this sort of shit. All of this whole stuff going. He's kind of in a rock and a hard place now, no matter what he does. Yeah. He wants to be the big guy and end wars. Well, they said no. What are you going to do about it? And he's kind of fucked now because he has to either go ballistic or walk away and be the weak man.
The smartest
and that hurts his ego. And America's sovereignty and safety doesn't really come into it.
The smartest thing he could do right now, there's two things he should do. One, start walking away from Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, say, we've tried everything. I've tried peace initiatives. I've tried military intervention. These two sides are not going to, no matter what. I'll tell you what, when you guys finally get a belly full of fighting and you want to talk peace, let us know. We'll help you out. And just walk away from it. Same thing with Ukraine.
I wouldn't even help him out then. I'll be like, hey, once you've got a belly full of fighting, it's solved. You can sort it out yourself. That's its natural conclusion. There won't be more fighting because you'll run out of money, time, will.
What I mean is just be the mediator between the parties. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that.
Don't drop a cent into them ever again. Let them either survive or extinguish.
Yeah, they've got a $2 billion budget surplus over in the state of Israel. Why are we giving them any money anyway?
Well, they wouldn't have had that. I mean, that is your money.
Yeah, exactly.
That is your surplus.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I don't think we'll be able to solve this evening, Brian. But we came very close. You and I are pretty good at solving world problems.
I agree. Why they don't make you Prime Minister of Australia and me the President of the United States, I have no idea, brother.
Well, because the system, we can't see. I fucking hate this. We've got a parliamentary system where you'd have to go into a 30-year career and then become the leader of the party and then edge your way to. You can't do it. You can't. There is no popular voting. So that's the short and. What's the word? How do they say it? That's the short and tall of it. Is that the short and.
The short and tall, the tall and short of it.
Is that how they say it?
The tall and short of it.
Or the long and short. The long and short. Fucking whatever. Yeah. I'm not good at sayings. I really appreciate you, Brian. This has been very fun.
This has been a load of fun, brother. Glad to come on. I appreciate it. Genuinely.
And so there will be a basically an open invite for you anytime. But yeah. Because I love having you here. I've been talking about it for like months. Brian, I'm going to do a show again. And I promise I'm going to get you on 7 months later. Hey, Brian, I'm still doing that show, man.
Well, it's like me and Sean. I keep telling Sean, I'm going to reach out to you in a couple of days. I got to talk to you about some stuff. And he's right. He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I've been putting off sending him this invite for the longest time now. And it's like, but daggone it, when I get called out on a live stream over it, that's it. We're sending him a thing tonight. So
I still have an Excel spreadsheet here when I first started the podcast channel. And this was before I had on Chrissy Mayer and everyone. And I had everyone was in a list of people that I wanted to invite. You were in the list. You were in the list of the first people I wanted to invite. And then it fell over and, whatever.
I know.
But I'm glad we've done this.
Yeah, no.
I was actually nervous because I thought Brian's going to be a little bit too highbrow for me. He's going to be too intelligent for me.
Whatever. Brother, I'm as plain as a pair of old brown shoes. I can talk to anybody. Doesn't matter to me.
I have noticed that, and you're very good for it. Appreciate you, man. You have a wonderful evening. If we don't catch you over on the third Railify show, now I actually have to set up that raid. Let me do that. There's a raid set up there. I'm about to raid over there very shortly. Is there anything else? Where can people find you, sir?
You can find me on Rumble. I have a channel there, the Front Porch Conservative. You can find me on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. I have a channel there called the Front Porch Conservative. You can find me on Twitter at the Front Porch C1. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow night on my channel called the Wednesday Night Newsroom. We'll be on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter. I will be co-hosting with my good buddy Tracy Barkley from Gen X Marks the Spot. And Wednesday Night Newsroom is just much like this. We're going to get together. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to give our views and try and get through this crazy thing we call life. And there'll probably be some ranting and raving. There will be the merry memes, which are the best political commentary out there, aside from yours truly. So, yeah, stop on by. It'll be 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Again, you can find it on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter, 7 o'clock Eastern, the Wednesday Night Newsroom. And I do a live stream on Saturday mornings called Front Porch Brunch, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Again, catching up on the news from the weekend and looking ahead and just giving some commentary about everything. So, if you want to subscribe to my channel, hit me up on Rumble and YouTube. I'd really appreciate it.
And they're all linked in the description below. In all of it should be on Rumble and YouTube in all the descriptions. I think it worked. Oh, and on Pilled. So Brian's links are there. Please click them. Excuse me. It's a lot of fun watching him. And I think that's it. You can find me anywhere or everywhere at danielclancy.live. Honestly, it's just going to go all the buttons there. You can just fucking press all that shit. It's click, 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 boop, boop, boop.
And more importantly, press the one that donates to him. He would really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, you can make me buy me lunch because otherwise I'm not going to have any.
Yeah, look at this poor boy over here. He's starving. The boy needs food. Give him some money, people.
Give me some money.
For the love of God, man.
Love you guys. Appreciate you very much. I'm going to press this button. It might send you off to another good fellow. Let's see. Confirm raid. Raid confirmed. That's one set up there. Setting up another one here. Press that fucking button. How do I just do it? Does it automatically do it on Pilled?
I don't know.
You have set up a raid. I think it does. I think it just automatically does when I go stop. All right, guys. That's it. Appreciate you. We'll see you either tomorrow or next week. Yep, I'll probably come back tomorrow because I want to invite Cosmic on again. And we'll see. All right, guys. Peace in the Middle East.
Amen. Catch you later.
And